In the early 20th century, a team of divers exploring a shipwreck off the coast of the Greek island Antikythera made a discovery that would baffle scientists for over a century. Among the corroded bronze statues and pottery fragments, they uncovered something no one expected: a lump of metal and wood, encrusted and barely recognizable. At first glance, it looked like nothing more than a rotting mechanical fragment, possibly the remains of a nautical instrument. But as time passed and technology advanced, researchers began to uncover the astonishing truth. What they had found was not simply a relic from ancient Greece. It was a machine of such complexity and precision that it challenged everything we thought we knew about the capabilities of early civilizations. This was the Antikythera Mechanism, and some would argue it wasn't just ahead of its time. It might have come from a time or place we don't yet understand. For decades, the device sat largely ignored, its potential hidden beneath layers of corrosion. But in the mid-20th century, closer examination revealed a network of bronze gears and dials, unlike anything previously seen from the ancient world. Gradually, as X-rays and 3D imaging peeled away its secrets, the mystery deepened. This wasn't a clock. It wasn't just a calendar. It was a fully functional analog computer, crafted over 2,000 years ago, capable of predicting eclipses, tracking the movements of the sun, moon, and even the 5 planets known to the ancients: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. The sheer complexity of the device raised immediate questions. Who built it? How did they do it? And why has nothing like it ever been found from that era, or even for the next 1,000 years? Because here's what makes the Antikythera mechanism so baffling. For all intents and purposes, it shouldn't exist. The intricate gear trains, some with teeth as fine and delicate as a modern watch, required a level of precision engineering that historians believed didn't emerge until the 14th century. Yet this device predates the first known mechanical clocks by over a millennium. To understand just how extraordinary this machine is, imagine a wooden box about the size of a shoebox. Inside it, dozens of interlocking gears, all carved by hand, worked together to translate astronomical cycles into visual movements. One crank of a handle, and the machine would display the positions of celestial bodies for any chosen date. It even accounted for the irregular orbit of the moon through a mechanism known as epicyclic gearing, something thought to be far beyond the reach of ancient craftsmanship. It could even forecast lunar and solar eclipses using a 223-month cycle known as the Saros cycle. All of this knowledge encoded into bronze over 2,000 years ago, and all of it operating mechanically without electricity, silicon, or software. The prevailing theory is that the Antikythera mechanism was built by Greek scientists, possibly in Rhodes, around 150 to 100 BCE. It may have been influenced by the work of Archimedes or Hipparchus, 2 ancient geniuses who pushed the boundaries of mathematical and astronomical understanding. But even if these thinkers laid the intellectual groundwork, that still doesn't explain how someone was able to translate those ideas into precise gears, crafted with tools and techniques that, according to our textbooks, didn't exist yet. And that's where speculation begins to flourish. Could this device be a lost artifact from an unknown civilization, one that reached a level of technological sophistication far earlier than we currently accept? Or perhaps, as some fringe theorists suggest, the knowledge to build such a device was passed down from beings not of this earth? Mainstream science dismisses such notions, preferring to focus on the idea of a forgotten genius or a small group of artisans whose work simply didn't survive the ravages of time. After all, ancient texts do mention devices similar in function, if not in detail. The Roman author Cicero wrote about a planetarium constructed by Archimedes, one that could show the motions of the heavens. Could that be more than mere myth? And then there's the problem of legacy, or rather, the lack of it. How is it that such an advanced piece of technology appears, fully formed, and then vanishes? No other devices like the Antikythera mechanism have ever been recovered. There are no intermediate models, no earlier prototypes, no simplified versions. It's as if someone had built a Ferrari in the Middle Ages, and then the world went straight back to carts and horses for another 1,000 years. This kind of technological gap doesn't make sense in a linear view of human progress. But it does make sense if this wasn't part of a linear path at all. If, instead, it was an isolated peak of brilliance, suddenly lost to war, disaster, or even deliberate suppression. The shipwreck where the mechanism was found dates back to the 1st century BCE, and it's believed the cargo was on its way to Rome. Could it be that the knowledge required to build such devices was concentrated in a single workshop, or a single mind, and that when that person died, or the facility was destroyed, the secret died with it? Perhaps history is more fragile than we like to think. A single fire, a single war, a single forgotten scroll could erase a generation's worth of advancement. And if that's true, how many other wonders might have vanished before they could be passed on? What adds to the mystery is how the device remained hidden for so long. The wreck was discovered in 1900, but the full significance of the mechanism wasn't understood until the 1970s, and it wasn't until the early 2000s that modern imaging techniques finally revealed the inner workings in detail. As more fragments were analyzed, more functions were discovered. The mechanism was not only advanced, it was elegantly efficient, an embodiment of scientific beauty. It didn't just predict astronomical events, it encoded philosophy, mythology, and a worldview that placed the heavens at the center of understanding. Some have suggested that the Antikythera Mechanism might have been used in temples or educational settings, a kind of ancient teaching tool or celestial oracle. Others think it may have been a personal device for a wealthy individual or an emperor, used to demonstrate cosmic knowledge and power. But even in those contexts, it remains an outlier, too advanced, too rare, and too perfect. The Antikythera Mechanism forces us to confront uncomfortable questions about the past. We like to think of history as a straight line, primitive tools giving way to modern inventions in a logical, step-by-step progression. But what if that's not how history works at all? What if knowledge can leap forward and then fall backward, lost for centuries, only to be rediscovered by accident? What if the timeline of human innovation is not a line but a jagged heartbeat, full of brilliance and collapse? And if a device like this could exist over 2,000 years ago, unknown and unmatched for a millennium, what else might be hidden beneath the sands of time? Or at the bottom of the sea? In the end, the Antikythera Mechanism may be a symbol, not just of ancient ingenuity, but of the limits of our own understanding. It reminds us that history holds secrets still buried, and that genius can appear in the most unexpected places, only to vanish without a trace. Whether it was the work of an unknown master, a forgotten civilization, or something truly extraordinary, it continues to inspire awe and wonder. Perhaps that's its true power, not just in what it does, but in what it makes us imagine. Because sometimes the most powerful machines aren't the ones that change the world. They're the ones that remind us how little we truly know about it.